The new Superman movie is almost here, and it's not just a new person in the suit. This is the first film in James Gunn's rebooted DC universe. It's a full reset with no ties to the old DCEU. And Gunn isn't starting small, he's dropping us right into a world that feels lived in with heroes, villains, and all different kinds of characters in the DC universe. So here's your full breakdown of every confirmed character in Superman. No spoilers, just context, connections, and why they matter in the new DCU. Let's go ahead and begin with the heroes. Clark Kent, aka Superman. Now this isn't just an origin story, he's already working at the Daily Planet and already saving the day. Gunn has described this version of Clark Kent as kind, decent, and hopeful, a Superman who believes in doing the right thing even when the world doesn't. That kind of tone alone sets us apart from the darker version that we saw in the DCEU. Krypto the Superdog. Yes, Krypto is in this movie. He's Superman's loyal, flying, laser-eyed dog, and he's been a fan favorite in the comics and cartoons for years. And knowing Gunn, you can completely expect Krypto to have a big personality and maybe even steal the show. Actually, let me rephrase that. He will steal the show. Metamorpho is a deep-cut DC hero. He can change his body into elements like gas, acid, stone, even kryptonite. Yeah, his powers are really strange and his look is even stranger, and he's always been kind of a misfit in the DC universe. And that makes him perfect for a James Gunn team. Expect him to be weird, funny, and probably more relatable than you think. Mr. Terrific is one of the smartest people in the DC universe. A tech genius, an inventor, and an athlete. His T-spheres, those floating tech orbs that you see in the trailer, do everything from surveillance to combat. He's a tactician, and the guy sees angles that nobody else does. If this team has a brain, it's all him. Hawkgirl is a winged warrior with a giant mace and centuries of battle experience. Sometimes her origin is mystical, sometimes it's alien, but either way, she is a powerhouse. Her inclusion opens up the door for reincarnation, ancient history, and maybe even cosmic stories in the DCU. Guy Gardner is one of the most over-the-top Green Lanterns in the entire DC universe. He's brash, he's arrogant, and constantly mouthing off, but he's also a solid hero when it counts. The movie Superman isn't just about the Man of Steel, it's about heroes that are legendary, new, and some of them are kind of weird, but either way, this sets the ground of what we can expect going forward in the DCU. And what would a Superman movie be without villains? This one has a lot of them. Starting off is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is Superman's greatest enemy. He's a genius, he's a billionaire, and a manipulator of everything. This Lex Luthor is going to be colder, younger, and he's just going to be a more modern take on the character. Expect a less cartoonish supervillain and a more calculated sociopath, the kind that doesn't really need a mech suit to get the job done. Although I do hope he gets that mech suit in this movie, that would be sick. Rick Flag Sr. You already might know him from the animated series Creature Commandos, where he leads a Black Ops team under Amanda Waller. He represents the government's military response to superpowers, and if he's here, it could only signal that the Waller-led side of the DCU is watching Superman very closely. The engineer is part human, part nanotech, but she's fully lethal. She can shape her body into weapons and interface into any machine. She's a member of the Authority, which is getting its own movie, hopefully. That's still kind of up in the air, but that is the plan. Anyway, her role here could tease the rise of a more violent, pragmatic brand of superheroes, you know, the kind that Superman has always stood against. The Hammer of Baravia is an original character made for this movie, and it's likely a nationalistic or a military rival to Superman. And the name Hammer of Baravia kind of sounds like a state-sponsored enforcer, a symbol of what happens when a country builds its own Superman. And if that's the case, he could really reflect the global fears about Superman operating above politics. And then there's also this mysterious masked character in the film named Ultraman. What we do know is that James Gunn deliberately kept this character's face hidden, so whatever this character's identity actually is, it's pretty important. And it might be someone that we've already seen in the movie, or maybe it's someone that no one expects. Either way, they're clearly setting up something huge for the reveal. Eve Tessmacher is Lex Luthor's girlfriend. In previous Superman stories, she's played as loyal, but morally conflicted with what Lex is actually doing. So her presence here could bring some unexpected twist, or maybe she's just gonna be another pawn in Lex's schemes. Either way, classic nod to past stories. Now you thought I was lying when I said there were a lot of villains in this movie, but the cool thing about this movie is that the villains aren't just villains that Superman is going to be able to punch his way through. There's going to be mind games that are played. He's going to meet his match physically, and he's going to have to go up against the government and global fear, and also a mysterious identity hidden behind a mask. There is way more here than just bad guys of the week. Next up is the Daily Planet crew, so we gotta start with Lois Lane. She's Superman's partner, and not just romantically. She challenges him, she grounds him, and sometimes even leads him in the direction that she knows he needs to go. She's strong, she's smart, and she is sharp. Expect her to be asking the hard questions while the rest of the world's still trying to figure things out. Jimmy Olsen is Superman's best friend and the planet's photographer. He's usually the comic relief, but he's also loyal, he's brave, and he's resourceful. And in the right hands, Jimmy can be way more than just a sidekick, and hopefully, he isn't done dirty like he was in BVS. Perry White is the Daily Planet's no-nonsense editor-in-chief. He shouts, he inspires, and he demands the truth. He's the guy holding the newsroom together. Kat Grant adds a lot of edge and a lot of sass to the newsroom. She's a gossip columnist, but she always brings the heat, so don't underestimate this journalist. She might represent the media's obsession with Superman's image more than his truth, but either way, she's gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Steve Lombard is the loudmouth sports guy. He's full of bluster, he's always bullying Clark, but he's secretly loyal to all of his friends. He brings a lot of personality to the newsroom, and he reminds us all that even as big as this movie's gonna get, the world still has everyday kind of people in it. The Daily Planet isn't just a setting, it's gonna be the human heart of this story. Remember, Superman can fly through the sky, he can go to space, but he chooses to be here, and that matters. Ma and Pa Kent are confirmed to be in the movie, and this time Pa Kent looks to still be alive, which is a very welcome change going from Man of Steel to this. So yeah, both parents are present, and we might get to see what Clark is like with his full moral foundation still intact. And that kind of emotional support could really set the tone for a more hopeful Superman. So yeah, this isn't just a Superman reboot, it's the start of a bigger, more complex DC universe. We've got cosmic warriors, we've got flying dogs, black ops soldiers, masked villains, and newsroom drama, all orbiting around the most hopeful version of Superman we have seen in years. Which character are you most excited to see in Superman? Is it Krypto? Is it the engineer? Is it that masked guy who probably isn't who we think it is? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you stick around on the channel, because when the movie drops, I'll be doing a review and I'll be ranking all of the characters. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.